much is it now?
Esau is yours to explore.
Presenting key. Have you seen 4 females?
You've done well, Child of the Dust. Those below will never know what is really happening. But in the end, is this a part of the many seasons or the sudden tempest? Does hiding the rot not spoil the harvest, no? Take this. You're brave. Perhaps we will meet again. Goodbye, my friend. House of Seasons is no more. How can this be? Yes?
Can I aid you?
A dustling. How nice.
My King Tatarian is waiting for you. Please place the codex before him. It's been a long time since I've been here.
Conceived in chaos, birthed in stolen magic, torn from fate, child of two fathers, treacheries in treacheries, winter is broken. The puppet king upon his throne, drinking flattery and lies. The power that grows in him is not his own. In the east it did begin, as it will end. From behind the veil she screams. Madness and rage. Madness and rage.
We realize this may be confusing for you. Fate, like the Fae, cannot be changed. But the Tuatha are Fae who have become something new. And you are a mortal who is free from Fate's weave. Gadflow claims that the Tuatha are the work of his new god. If the Tuatha are the creations of a god, what does that make you? The time of the Fae is passing. Our land and our souls are diminishing. Few Fae even realize that the great cycle is shifted. Gadflow's war means the death of us all, Fae and mortal alike. It is written in the weave that we shall all pass from this world together. It is too late for us, but not for you. That is the fate which I look to you to change. The power of a god in the brash hands of a mortal. This is why Niralim fears what you might become. This age has seen much change. Change we once thought was impossible. We were wrong. That is how I understand it now. You are intertwined with the power in Alabastra. There can be no doubt of that. We do not know what will happen when you travel there, but we know that the power behind Gadflow is your ultimate goal. His god holds your answer, and the fate of this world. I thank you, and perhaps you can help change our world's fate as well. I have seen those who were destined to be heroes, for whom great deeds came naturally. They come, they act, and they pass on as written. You do great things not because you must, but because you choose to. That is by far a far truer greatness. Admirable, but strength of will cannot see you through this alone. You may be unbound by fate, but you are not free from death. Speak with your allies. Only with their aid can you hope to overcome the forces that stand against you. The weave is a puzzle. Each person is a piece, the edges of their fate locking together with the people around them, all performing their duties to form a grand picture. However, you are no longer a puzzle piece. You are a dollop of paint. You cover and redefine the edges of the puzzle pieces you meet. But more dangerously, you repaint the picture of reality itself. Who can trust that your design is better than the original? It is the deepest tragedy that our fall should come from our own. Make no mistake, Gadflow is the harbinger of the end of my kind. In fighting him and his army, you will surely spell our doom. For that tragic truth, we forgive you. We are the dreams of warmth and safety, given physical form. But these dreams are endangered by Gadflow and the long winter. Since our kind returned to this world so long ago, it has been my honor to serve as High King of the Summer Court. My rule was always shared with the High King of the Winter Court, until Gadflow arose. Now both of our people are in peril. The Summer and Winter Courts have always ruled the Feylands in harmony, as the seasons wash across the world. But with Gadflow's new god, something changed. The Winter Fey who followed him called themselves Tuatha, and bore a mark of Prismere upon them. Their power has grown, and yet they are diminished. Our cold cousins across the sea. Do not think the Winter Court our enemies, for we love them as family, dismal though they may be. Oh, to walk in their starlit gardens once again, or sip their calming stone tea. But the Tuatha have consumed them, and all of their wonders are lost.
I couldn't make out half of what the king was saying, but it sounds like you've got your work cut out for you. Good thing you won't be facing it alone. In fact, I think I've got a lead on finding an old friend of ours. Old Fomorus Hughes, of course. If anybody can help, it's bound to be the gnome who brought you back to life. I've been asking around, and I was able to make contact with his superior. He thinks he might be able to help find Hughes. No, he's a crafty one. If he got away from those assassins in the lab, like you said, I'm sure he found someplace new to hide out. And if anyone's likely to know where he'd go to find safe haven, it'd be the Templar who sponsored his work. His name's Octien. Go southeast to the Hollowlands. Templar Octien will be waiting there to discuss how you might find Hughes. He once offered me an honorary knighthood after I slayed the Dream Eater of Amora. He was quite gracious when I turned him down. You know the Summer Court in Issa? Well, the Winter Court are their darker siblings. They're not evil, but they're definitely not nice. Beautiful city, isn't it? You can see why they don't like letting most mortals in. Even the best of us make it look like a mess by comparison. Strange crystal, Prismia. It's normally a shade of blue, but when you treat it and charge it with magic, it turns blood red. Ah, the warm and welcoming Fae of the Summer Court. They were the ones who welcomed man, Alpha, and Gnome into the Feylands. You'd hardly realize the Tuatha are the same sort of creature. You're not the only one on the hunt for Hughes. Octien has followed his trail to the Hollowlands in Detir. You'll want to talk to him.
Who would have thought you were so interesting? Death seems to have worked out very well for you. Agarth's looking for escape, Neralim's looking for a savior, and Tatarian is looking for a champion, and somehow, you're giving everyone what they want. I'm impressed. You're right. This won't be easy. The Tuatha have our forces under siege at Mel Senshir, and their power has only grown over the years. You'll need more help than just me and that old Fate Weaver. You'll need an army. A few years ago, one warrior could have slipped past unnoticed, but stealth is no longer an option, not even for me. But there is hope. In the plains of Erathell there waits a player who has been away from this game for far too long. It is time to contact General Talera. Meet me in the village of Emer, and I will tell you everything. General Talera was in charge of our forces to the east in Cluracan, but a decade ago, Witch Knight Malwyn and his Tuatha army drove her forces back. Since then, she's been looking for some way to take back the land she lost and regain her honor. You might be just the help she needs. Be on your way.
Any luck finding the old gnome?
climbing again.
Mitharu keep you. Welcome.
Every day that passes is a blessing from Mitharu.
Hail, Wanderer. Would you spare a moment? I have a favor to ask you. It was not always the empty place you see now, but it has become little more than a stopping point between Dalentarth and Erathell for travelers. Not much to speak of, just another soul wandering the plains trying to get by. This used to be a peaceful place full of farmlands. It is still a quiet place, but now the freemen are lurking around just looking to murder and thieve. In appearances, perhaps, I'm just an alpha that needs your help. I have a few belongings to sell, and unfortunately, I've done little to endear myself to Aiton's folk. Will you sell them in my stead? The arrangement is simple. I give you an item, and you sell it. I take a cut, you keep the profit. And will repeat until I have nothing to sell. Understand? I thought you had the look of a trader about you. I have several items for you to sell. If you prefer, you could just buy them all now from me and sell them later. You will? I did not think that I would be as lucky as that. These are my personal effects. You should be able to sell them around town for more than what I charged you. Thank you for your coin, stranger. I will use it to buy passage to Melsenshire, to the war front. Now, I must go.
You must be the messenger. Let's keep this quick, shall we? Do you have the ambassador's daggers? Her reputation's bigger than her boat. When I heard she's taken a diplomatic position, I just about choked on my tongue. I'd never want to end up trapped in there like that. I like my skies blue and my air fresh. Nothing natural should be so closed off. True, it's a city packed to the walls with Alfar, but it also has the best dames and drinks in all of Amalur. If you know where to look, that is. What is it you want to know? We're a fiercely protective people. We see what should be done and we do it. Mistakes can be made if it leads to success. I was beginning to worry I had risked running into bandits or Tuatha for nothing. This information better be worth it. Thank you for coming all this way. I will pass the ambassador's message on to the war captain. Be safe.
Strangers strange come to Aiden. Few come by these roads nowadays. A hard gaze falls on Aiden. Many are the burdens and few are the reliefs. Someone must go to Aiden Circle. Someone must call the Erathell. Though our wheat grows strong, the citizens do not. We sowed a crop that was untimely reaped. We need intervention, lest we end up like Talarain, a monument to nothing with kobolds and raiders squabbling over our bones. The last remaining farm in the Wolds. There has been much talk of it, how Denrit and Allred Rond have gone mad. Even Finwick refuses to investigate, so wary is he of catching the madness. Hoping to hear a song for coin from Old Nell. I haven't sung for years, stranger, not since the war started. Ratifer. After a decade, he begs me payment for the ring, and so his promise is finally broken. Very well. I should be lucky to die unmarried rather than a widow. A forgotten spot in these plains. The land still bears grain, but few reap the crops they did before the war. Only Ron Farm stands, and Flame has gutted it. The others have fallen into the hands of the freemen, bandits, marauders. I see you have a ring, tarnished green and old as Nell has grown. Bought it off old Ratty, did you? The poor drunk dear. I have the coin you seek, from a dowry never taken, for a bride never wed. A circle of the windstones nearby. When the voices from its stones sing a certain melody, the Erathell will come and end our tribulations. Each stone is a voice in the song. When all have sung in their part, the Erathell will appear. But if not, dark things for these dark times will show instead. The stones. I am unworthy. I do not think they will sing to me. You must go. It must be you. Make the stones sing their song. You will? Aiden Circle is to the south of town. Each stone carries a note of the song. In the right order, they form the song as it was to be sung. But they will not suffer a cacophony. If the songs you play will not call the Erathell, it will call darker things for these dark times. Everyone knows the song. It starts on the highest note and descends down the scale. Wait a moment. Perhaps it was start at the lowest note and descend up. Well, something like that anyway. Flutter away.
Can I help you?
stranger to Aten? I'm the law in this town. Keep the peace and you are welcome to stay. If not, then you had best leave. If you need to trade, visit Banron, our smithy, and Askel deals in alchemy. And there's a general dealer staying at the inn. Town's becoming harder to protect. We get weaker every season, and the freemen know it. I do what I can, but we keep losing ground. Rond Farm burned not long ago, but it's too dangerous to investigate. I am the law of the town. Aten needed protection, and I didn't see anyone else willing to do the job. I took it upon myself to keep Aten safe. Someone needed to do it. Used to be peaceful farmland before the war was on. Now it's some scratched-up dirt, home to Aten and those murderous freemen. I'll take a look at what you've got. They're certainly weathered, but there's something about these daggers. I'll part with a few coins for them. Here you are. Oh, really? Someone finally answers to my posting? Well, do you have anything to turn in? I didn't think you'd be all talk. Since you seem like the genuine article, I'll give you a special incentive. I'll pay for each armband you bring me, but bring me a handful, show me you're making a dent in those bastards, and I'll see you're paid proper. Keep the peace.
Welcome to the smithy. Welcome to the clanging hammer. Don't see many new faces in Aten these days. My forge is open. Before Talarain fell to ruin, it was Aten's fields and villagers that stocked and supplied the various citadels there. But the war hit us hard. Bandits plagued the roads. Even Ron Farm has burned to soot. They have been lingering around the wolds. Be cautious on the roads out there. Those freemen like to sneak up on wanderers. It's quiet here. Farmland mainly. But between Ron Farm and the freemen, we've got our own worries. This is Rattifers, isn't it? I recognize the work. My father did it. They're pretty tarnished, and I don't really have the time to work them now. But I'll take them off your hands. Here you go. Forge is yours, whenever you need.
For a minute I thought the damn freeman had fancied to rob me. Welcome! I offer some alchemical items if you are interested. If not for the slim flow of traffic between Rathier and Dalentarth, it would likely not exist anymore. It's been worse since the war. In a few decades, we'll probably be like Talarain, completely ruined. Ruffians and bandits are scattered all over the wolds. It's dangerous wandering outside of town. My wife and assistant, she helps me run the shop, although sometimes she creates more problems than she fixes. It's quiet here, and I can appreciate that. But as the days pass and travelers grow scarcer, it becomes ever more difficult to make a living out here. I am an alchemist, not a dealer in petty baubles and refuse. Wait a moment. That kerchief, it's woven of Canarok gossamer. Perfect for a solvent cloth. I spoke too soon. Here is coin for the object. I shall buy it at once. Very well. Looking for potions? Very well.
Good day, You should speak with Askell if you're here to shop. He won't even let me keep the books anymore after my last mistake. I want to help him, but he won't let me near his ledgers. Askell is the owner of the shop and my husband. If you would like to make a purchase, you should speak with him. Bandits and thieves that have been seen around the walls. They won't think twice of killing you for any valuables. That is the wasteland, southeast of here. Long ago, it was a grand citadel, ruled over by the Astor family. It's since fallen to ruin. You'll find monsters there, amongst ancient treasure. The walls aren't much if you're looking for excitement. At least, not before the war turned those freemen loose on us. Well, if you can undo my mistake, perhaps Askell will let me help him again. I sent out several invoices the other day, but I made a slight arithmetic error that might cost us dearly. None of the customers seem to have noticed yet. Can you recollect those invoices discreetly? Oh, thank you. There's 5 invoices in total. 4 went to the townsfolk. The last was to go to the war-sworn fortress, Helmgard, with a traveling merchant. When you have them all, bring them back to me. Oh, and don't mention this to Askell. 4 of them were given out to the townsfolk. The last was to be sent to Helmgard Keep, the war-sworn base, so I gave it to a merchant traveling that way. Nice talking to you.
A customer?
Huh? What's this?
They were the harbingers of the fall, these children of dust. They lit the forest with their fires, and then split it with their blades. They crept back, shapeless in the darkness, silent in the trees. The shadows are few in this age of mortals. The light beckons.
Welcome to Asia.
East of the Wolds, you'll find Talarain, a warren of old strongholds and ruins, and crawling with beasts. Fortunes can be had there for a lucky adventurer. Of course, the ruins have claimed more than a few lives. I heard rumors that Castor had been sent to his maker. I'm just sorry I'm past the age where I could have sent him myself. The bastard's better off dead for what he's been putting us through. Thanks kindly for your work, stranger. Keep the peace.
Good day, traveler. Thank you so much for your help with these. I'll have them reworked and redistributed. In return for your help, please have these. They're sure to be of use. Nice talking to you. Askel's letting me help with the business again. Nice talking to you.
Her prying ears won't bother my people anymore. Our road lies clear. What the Varani have planned for Issa is for the best. A time will come when we will repay our debt to you. Until that day comes, take these.
Huh? What's this?
played the song, and the Erathell did not come. I had thought that something might change, but no. The blessings of the heavens will never come, just as the lost of Aten can never be recovered. Thank you, stranger, for showing me this. Flutter away.
What is it now? I've told you before, and I'll tell you again. We will leave when there is someplace else for us to go. Tell your friends in Emer that as long as the Tuatha burn our homes, we'll keep searching for a place to settle. I was raised in Colm and spent my summers fishing the Tuili coast. And when the war came, I threw my lot in with General Talera. May she forgive herself. They claim to be low on supplies, to be unable to spare even the smallest charity. But I know better. I have seen. Unlike us, they have everything they need, and more. Here we are safe from the Fae, all of them. We are simple people. We don't wish to be pawns in the games of immortals, summer or winter. As for Emer, the villagers have made it very clear that we're not welcome. There would be more understanding if they had endured our hardships. I saw them with my own eyes, and I know Tuatha killed my fair share in the war. I am Elrod Edmund, leader of this pathetic band of ragmen. We come from the farms of the Tuili coast. Go there now, and you will find only ruin. The Tuatha raiding parties terrorized us where we were safest. At home. There are spies among us, my friend, and they must be rooted out. Will you help me? Kill them. What else? I would do it myself, but I must lead my people. They have no hope left to speak of. My strength is all they have. Fine. Then we shall be discreet. There are 3 whom I suspect of scouting for the Tuatha. They are paid in gold. There is no record of their actions. Onred Amphast is posing as a military recruiter, while Froma and Nag are both residents of our camps in the plain. Be careful. Consider all of them well connected. Be swift. Be merciless. Onred lurks in the shade of the Forsaken Plain mostly. Try Emer, or the West Phalanx. Froma and Nag are likely in one of the refugee camps to the east. Good luck.
What do you want? Do you always approach strangers out in the wild? It's a bad habit, to be sure. I don't care where we are. All I care about is finding someplace to call home. The Fae can keep their blasted battle, their glory. I just want a decent night's sleep. I was a seamstress who made nets for the coastal fishermen. My hands may be callous, but they're strong. Few of us had even spoken to each other before the Tuatha came, but tragedy has a way of throwing disparate souls together. What kind of question is that? You want to know about the Tuatha? Go back to Tawili. Gaze at the fires that never cease. There's your education. What was I supposed to do? The Tuatha will sow terror far beyond Tawili to the depths of Dalentarth if they can. I only did it for the money. But I will never do it again, you have my word. Spare me, please. Bye.
Welcome. I know our little camp doesn't look like much, but it's home. After all, what is home but a place where people love you? I am Lord Crass, heir to Dolve Arn, and soon to be mayor of New Culm. It is no place for these people. I've seen many sorrowful sights in my travels abroad, and nothing could have prepared me for the suffering I've witnessed here. If what they say is true, then the Forsaken Plain is truly cursed. Only the Fae could have spoiled a place so utterly. To them, death is just a new beginning. My cousin Cliath Arn abandoned Dolve Arn for a life of waste and frivolity in Rathir. When the war began, I was forced to hand everything over to the Alfar army, except Erlich here. I will return one day. It is my birthright. The war took everything these poor folk possessed. Their farms, their families, their future. Now they search for hope in a hopeless land. At Dolve Arn, I was born into wealth, into prestige, and I took it for granted. That is why I've devoted myself to raising these good people up. Out here? No, I have not seen any Tuatha on this long, treacherous road. However, there are plenty of other dangers to avoid. Trust me. Bandits prowl the high cliffs to the east, and there is talk of spies among the refugees. But I am not one to heed rumors and suspicions. Ah, I'm glad you asked. The village of Culm was a place of peace, of prosperity. Now it is little more than ashes and bones. But by burning our homes, the Tuatha have kindled in us a fire for survival. We will build a new Culm. All I need is the gold to support this bold undertaking, possibly by retrieving the treasures of Culm. Care to help? There are many valuables, but only a chosen few will fetch the kind of gold we need to begin construction. A painting, an urn, a box, and some jewelry. A nobler soul I've never met. Now, here is what I intend to do, because like all good leaders, I have a plan. My plan involves the treasures of Culm. The people of this good village were not mere farmers, but members of the highest strata. Their collection of valuables was truly second to none. To safeguard those possessions, and because many proved cumbersome on this long journey, they hid them. I want you to bring them to me. Sadly, we will need to sell them. The items are in Bitter Cove, east of here near the hills. It was deserted when we spent the night there, but I fear it's been occupied since then. Goodbye. Remarkable. The treasures of Culm. They are more beautiful than I remember. This is truly an achievement, one that will shape the days to come, I promise you. You will have it, as you deserve something equal to the great service you have done me and the refugees. I have acquired many tools and weapons during this long journey west. I have set them aside to use in constructing New Culm, but I now offer them to you. You are welcome to one item from my private hoard as thanks. Erlich will accompany you, of course. His spear may come in handy along the way. Goodbye.
Well, here we are. It's time to get started. And by that I mean I'm supposed to kill you, here, away from the eyes of the refugees. As you've probably guessed, there is no reward. There never was. Kras is probably halfway to Rathir by now. Never trust nobles, my friend, even false ones. Now, I'm not in the mood for killing at the moment, but orders are orders. I know he lies. That's why we get along so well. Stop staring at me. I'm not doing anything strange. You're the outsider here. I worked in my uncle's granary. I hated it, but I guess that doesn't matter now. I'll take the little gold I have left and start my own business. Someplace safe, I hope. I'm just here. What do you want me to say? My farm was burned just like everyone else's. They had farms in Culm, right? They aren't so scary. People round here are just bitter because the Tuatha destroyed their lives. I guess it's mostly a matter of perspective. Tuatha? Are you mad? The only thing I know about the Tuatha is how they killed my cousins and put my granary to the torch. Who told you? Was it Froma? I knew she was weak. I need the gold, okay? The Tuatha took everything. The least I can do is take their money. Listen, spare me and I'll leave. Disappear. Just go where they can never find me. That's a promise. Goodbye.
I saw you coming. Hope you'd visit. Just about mad with worry. What with the freemen roaming the hills and caverns. Tell me, child, have you noticed a young woman about? She's quite fair, with red hair, a tattoo like mine across her cheek. It's been 3 days. Their campfires burn all through the night and cast unsettling shadows. They're the worst kind of bandits. Those who don't kill for excess, but for necessity. I am no one. Everything that defined me, My livelihood, my family, my home, all of them were left ash by the Tuatha. Lyra is my life now. None of us wish to be without a roof over our heads, begging for our meals from any man or woman who passes us by. It's not what any of us planned. It was fate. My newfound love, and the only person I have. Everyone, my wife, my son, my grandchildren, all of them were killed in the attacks. Nothing remains but Lyra. She and several of her friends went in search of a better place to make our camp. This wretched sun takes its toll, doesn't it? But they never returned, and I worry. Would you do an old man this one kindness? Would you help me find her? Thank you. I am not rich, not anymore. But what I have left to give is yours. It means nothing without my love. Lyra went in search of refuge in Oriator's tomb. A better place than this desolate cliff. I would try the cemetery on the hill where they buried all the old war heroes. She resisted my advances at first. Tried to use our differences in age to deny the connection. But in the end, fate played its beautiful hand. We began as friends. I was the hunter and she was my apprentice. But her skills quickly surpassed my own. She is a gifted woman, a true wonder. A fitting memorial for a great man. He saved our people from complete destruction. If I had the strength, I would climb that hill and pay my respects. She and her friends were crawling all over the hill near Oriator's tomb. Not exactly the way to show respect, but she meant well. Goodbye and good luck.
welcome sight. A minute more and I'd be joining our friends on the hill here. Thanks for the assistance. I just figured everyone out here in the Forsaken Plain was either a refugee or one of the freemen. Looks like I was wrong. I don't mind it as much as most, but I was raised in Dalentarth, so I can handle the heat. Can't stand the bandits, though. It's impossible to get a decent night's sleep. You've got to watch your step in the Forsaken Plain. For every cave holds a bandit. Every refugee might be a cheat out to swindle us all. The freemen are especially fierce, for they're fighting not for the take, but for their very survival. Not so different than you or I, they are. I'm a refugee, like the others in the tents. It's a desperate place. People will do anything to see the next morning. Steal, kill, you name it. Not all of us are from the village of Kulm. We come from all along the Twili coast. Farmers and merchants, veterans and scholars. The Tuatha have put our possessions to the flame, but we will never accept defeat. Not so long as leaders like Lord Crass and Elrod Edmund act as our standard bearers. Actually, I'm a bit ashamed to say. I'm searching for a grave. But not just any grave. The last resting place of Azo Raymond, richest of the Twili merchants. They say he died early in the march west, claimed by the Forsaken Plain. Rumor has it he's buried with the famous rings of Azo. I could live a year on those. I'm glad to hear it. There's plenty of ground to cover between here and Rathir to the north, and another pair of eyes will be a huge advantage. Most of the graves are along the refugee route, usually surrounded by crude markings or gestures left by loved ones. It's a pity they couldn't do more. I heard Azo profited greatly from the war in the east, but that he was forced from his home when the Tuatha plundered Erathell. He moved west with the refugees. But the Forsaken Plain is no place for fat, wealthy merchants. They say he died quickly, with not a soul to mourn him. If I knew, I wouldn't be hiking all over this hill, reading names on worn gravestones. With my luck, it's on the other side of the Forsaken Plain. Bye.
If we could only get by those blade traps. I knew we shouldn't have come here. Our fortunes were bad, but at least we...
I knew someone would come. They all said we were as good as dead, but I held out hope. I don't know why. Never had any reason to hope before. So what's your story? Grave robber? Treasure hunter? Or like us, a refugee in search of shelter? The name fits. We didn't have an easy life when we farmed the fields below Culm, but it was nothing like this. If the bandits don't get you, the starvation will. She's from the camp on the hill leading into a mare. She's a liar and a thief. Twice I've caught her sneaking into our tents to steal food. Worse than a boggart. Omer Vogard was Culm's primary hunter, but it wasn't long after the Tuatha attacked that his hands gave out. Now he can't even hold a bow without shaking. I took over his job, and his heart. I tend to stalk my prey as opposed to shoot it. Something about looking it in the eye before it dies. There's respect in that. He is my beloved. Yes, there is a difference in our ages, but I believe that Omer's experiences have given him a lust for life, one to rival a man with half his years. I don't know much about Oriator, but what they taught in the village schoolhouse, before it was burned down. He was a war hero. Gallifore Fields, I gather. We probably could have sought refuge in Rathir, but there is no way that Dokkalfar would have allowed us to stay. But if we don't belong there, where do we belong? A good man, that one. Not one to give up on me. Well, it's good to know we're not forgotten. Of course, our problem remains the same. We can't leave. The tomb floor is rigged with a trap. We barely made it halfway in before Fea Gorta rose from every shadow. We reached the stairs, but now we're stuck. We weren't looting, believe me. We'd have no place to put it. In fact, we've already stored most of our valuables in Bitter Cove to lighten our load. All we were hoping for was some shelter from the elements, for a moment's shade. But this tomb is protected by something devilish, and it wants us out. How noble of you. If this were any other situation, I would question your generosity. But seeing as we're out of food, I'll accept it wholeheartedly. The lever to deactivate the blades is located in the room at the top of the stairs, past the rune trap that summons the Fea Gorta. If you can get us out of this, you'll be someone special indeed. Past the rune on the floor and up the steps in the memorial hall. Try not to let the statues scare you. I can tell you have a delicate constitution. See you.
thought we were doomed.
It's about time.
Here to save us? Ha! I knew I could count on you to bring her back. I could see it in your eyes. A spark of recognition. You have a love too. Or did at one point, you know. There is no thanks worthy of this deed. But you were entitled to something. I was a hunter once. Those days are finished. Yours, it seems, are just beginning. Goodbye.
Stay out of trouble.
May I help you? There is very little of interest to know about me. I'm a simple scholar. I am here for the serenity, the quiet. It took much gold to secure a permanent residence here, and for reassurances that there would be few questions. They are poor creatures. I pity them, as should you. Where did you hear that name? The man you speak of is dead, and all of his wealth has died with him. I told you, I don't know the man. Enough. You're persistent, I understand. What do you want? I want no part of that old life. Not the gold, not the reputation, not the worry. I made that false grave because I was tired of people hounding me for salvation. Wish to know where my money is? I'll tell you, it's gone. All gone. All I have left are my family rings. I just want to be left alone, to start over. Can't you appreciate that? Please, show me some mercy. Thank you. It was never my intent to hurt anyone, or to deny the needy what they deserve. But I am one man, and all I have left is for my future generations. Take this ring. I don't like to owe anyone, not anymore. He was my gardener. When the Tuatha killed him, I decided to take his name. It was the only thing he had that belonged to him. Perhaps he lives on now because of me. Goodbye.
You there! Halt! Don't let me catch you making trouble again.
Help me, please. I've been robbed. The rogue stabbed me, made off with my belongings. Blast! I can't believe I lost the amulet!
Damn, Freeman. We refugees are an easy target. There's little we can do to defend ourselves. I am a refugee heading west from the Tawili coast. A grieving son leaving his dead mother behind. To think there is scum that would steal a man's sole inheritance. They should be ashamed of themselves. With all they have, the least they can do is spare a little extra for the dying. We're not bad people, just unlucky. Haven't you heard? The Tuatha have moved raiding parties inland. They've sacked homes all along the coast. Farms burned, whole families killed. Those of us that have survived are moving west, hoping the Summer Fae will provide a safe haven. The last hope for the hopeless. It was an item of much sentimental value. It had a name. The Heir of Barnabas. No, the Eye of Sunspar. It was something ridiculous. Not professional bandits, exactly, but sly enough to cut a living out of this dried and dusty wasteland. You never know where they're going to strike next. He came from the cliffs. A bandit, I think. Stabbed me in the back, then made off with my satchel in his hand, and a wicked smile on his face. My mother's prized amulet is gone. A kind woman's last gift to her devoted son. I am in no condition to give chase. Will you help me? I don't know. It looked like one of the bandits that prey on us poor refugees. That amulet could fetch a fair sum. So I am. What of it? My treacherous partner stuck me when my back was turned. First he nicked me, then he nicked my bag. Not like it matters. If you bring that amulet, I'll pay you for it. It's that simple. Mine or not, I intend to have that prize. Don't insult me. You know damn well who I am, and what I've done. I'm surprised Immundus's wrinkled old head had enough sense left to tell you. So, old Immundus knows what happened. Well, I don't have the amulet. Gelt does. He took it from me. In exchange, he left his dagger in my shoulder. Hurry, there isn't much time.
I am on official business. Unless you've been sent by the Alfar army, we have no reason to speak. I was a soldier once, in the years before the Crystal War. I saw many die at Galafor Fields. You could say I learned my lesson. I'm here as a recruiter for the Alfar army. My superiors believe there's still fresh blood to be wrung from the Forsaken Plain. They're wrong, of course. Let's just say I'm glad I'm not one of them. War is harsh on many people in many ways. Those of us who can avoid the suffering should. Ask anyone and you'll get the same answer. They're animals. They care nothing for the mortal races. We're just dust to them. Enough! Keep your voice down! You're right. I'm a scoundrel and a coward. But you would have done the same thing. Give me a chance to make it right. You have my word, as a father. My informing days are over. Good riddance.
The forest you call Dalentarth was ruled by Issa. The God King fostered communion, a sharing. The mortals heeded his wisdom. The Fae followed his spirit. He linked the natural with the divine and became a nature unto himself. He knew the lives of...
Oh, hello. Lovely weather. Have you spotted any sativa fiber? It's okay if you haven't. I'll keep looking. Lovely weather. I've always felt a kinship with the flora of the plains. Do you? Can you feel them break the soil with their stems? Their muse of thirst on the driest of days? I do. There is no richer region for reagents in all of Amalur. They say this is where the summer fae first rose from the earth. I find the fae very odd. How about you? I use it in potions to protect the corporeal form, to ensure health and longevity. It also makes a pretty decent aphrodisiac. That's something you're interested in. Leela Janik, didn't you know? I thought that's why you were speaking to me. I collect plants to sell, to mix, to eat. Some of them I haven't figured out what to do with yet. What I'd love is some sativa fiber, fresh and unpicked. There's a patch of it, but the spiders won't let me near. Oh, hello. Did you just get here? Why wouldn't I want it? I've been chewing it since I was a child. It's what makes me impervious to harm. I'm completely indestructible, in case you hadn't noticed. If you can help me get that sativa, then I will be sure to give you a discount on all my alchemical goods. My sister Molly is a trainer. She'll drop her prices too, I promise. Don't do it on my account. The Cradle of Summer will provide. They have a nest in one of the small crevices at the foot of the cliffs. You'll know it by all the corpses. Nice to see you.
Are you one of the intruders? One of the children of the dust? What else can we possibly give you that you haven't already taken? The Cradle of Summer is not a flower for the plucking. For many seasons, we have protected this sacred space from the darkening influence of the mortal world. For it is here where we Summer Fae first set foot in Amalur. But with the rise of the Tuatha, the magical barriers protecting the Cradle of Summer have weakened. If this continues, nothing is safe from the blight of winter. I am Kalar, guardian of the Cradle. Terenia and I safeguard what has never needed protecting, until now. With our weakening magic, the Fae must tend to our own. Mortals, children of the dust. Those who seek only to steal the treasures of the land from which we sprung, to end the deep slumber. Mortals, like you, who seek to bend nature to their will, to make it bow before them as a servant, not embrace it as a guide and mother. Mortals, thieves, liars, and weaklings. They have stolen items of great power. They have stolen the three staffs. They are Rivener Tarsus, Gloamfrost, and Ender's Fire. Three incredible weapons forged to end a war that was threatening to engulf your mortal world. Such prizes, such items of power and importance cannot be kept in the open, and so they were hidden here. That is, until the intruders took them. A child of the dust wishes to help the cycle? Why, there is no precedent. If you truly wish to assist those of us in the deep slumber, you are welcome to. The three staffs were stolen from Sill Hollow and destroyed by the thieves who did not comprehend their power or their value. I heard their dying screams. The pieces must be recovered and the staffs must be reforged. If you can do this, you are more worthy of the Cradle than I could imagine. But likely, you will not. It is the most powerful form of Fey reverie. A connection between our people and our birthplace of Ashara, the realm from which all magic is born. We in the Cradle of Summer slumber to protect this sacred place. We draw energy from our homeland and use it to maintain the barriers that keep out the beasts and men. They were wielded during the long twilight of the Withering War. Those three weapons uprooted mountains and left the lush plain forsaken. They are the lightning, the fire, and the ice. They are precious. And while their magic has weakened in these fell lands, they are still cherished and must be returned. It is for those answers that I seek the wisdom of the slumber. For it is in its reverie where I will learn the whereabouts of these thieves, Raff, Purter, and Hagney. Move swiftly.
Thank the gods! Someone's come for me at last. Yes, I am the scoundrel you're looking for. Yes, I stabbed my partner in the back. Do with me what you like. Just please, please take the amulet. It's yours. It's terrible. Fire, ice, lightning. You will see. Yes, and I am a thief. Never had a spot of good luck. But taking what belongs to others doesn't make me a bad man, just a weak one. I've trekked here for several days and nights in search of Sill Hollow, but I've yet to find it. I can't say I'm comfortable here. Too many Fae, too much magic. Edwin, he was my partner, and a good one. But soon as I saw the amulet, I had to have it. Stabbed Edwin, took the goods. You can say I paid for my treachery. It is ancient, they say, as old as the cradle of summer itself. Armand the Clever calls it his home, even though no one has reported seeing Armand for centuries. He lives in Amalur. Pompous blowhard going on about his artifact collection to any who would listen. Name's Immundus. Wayne Immundus. I'll tell you why. This Fae trinket belonged to Armand the Clever, and it's cursed. Like most, I considered it an old traveler's story. Well, now I'm a believer. It's real. I have the scars to prove it. Your only hope is to give it away, or to travel to Armand's Hollow, in hopes you can remove the curse, which is why I'm here. Please, take the amulet. I am so weak. I cannot withstand its influence. If I possess it any longer, I will surely die. Perhaps the most treacherous and playful Fae ever to walk the green lands of the Summer Court. Evidence of his trickery can be found all over the Phalanx. Armand's Hollow of Syl is not far, right here in the Cradle of Summer. That's where I'm headed now. It is my salvation. Legend says that Armand crafted it by combining lightning, fire, and frost, an arcane trick he stole from the Scholia Arcana. All I know is what I've seen. Once that amulet is in your possession, it will torture you. Only the strongest can withstand its punishment. Only one such as you. What a relief. You have no idea how long I've been trying to abandon that damn thing. In order to be rid of its curse, you must take the amulet to Armand's Hollow of Syl and cleanse it. Armand wishes to make you enter his lair and face its many dangers. But once you've done that, the amulet is yours to keep. If you ask me, it's a high price to pay for a rather dull trinket. Goodbye.
My, you've gone and killed the spiders. How grand, how very grand. Normally I don't condone the killing of innocent creatures, but those are so creepy. You are too kind. From now on, you are considered a valued customer to all the Janiks. Everything is cheaper for the Spider Slayer. That is your name, isn't it? So long.
From the naked dirt sprang the Majestics, the firstborn of the wilds of Ashara. Around them, they heard the song of splendor of a once and future summer. And they responded. And the earth moved. The carver shaped, the architect built, and the shaper composed.
Don't mind me. Just another refugee looking for a handout. Life's tough, what with the Freemen striking us at every turn. You understand, I'm sure. I knew the gem was cursed. I overheard Faye speak of it, and of the great trickster Armen. But the curse is worth the agony. Imagine the gold! I am a refugee, heading west from the Tuwili coast. A grieving son leaving his dead mother behind. To think there is scum that would steal a man's sole inheritance. Wonderful. Give it here. The amulet itself isn't worth the stone it's made from, but it's the story that interests me. Something of Armen's belongs to me. I don't have much in the way of gold, but I have acquired quite the collection of useful items in my, travels. That's why I like you. You prefer action to debate. You will go far because of it. Like me. Well, like me before I was betrayed and left for dead. Bye.
Welcome.
Keep your eyes on your possession.
Yes?
You're in my path, stranger. I ask that you step aside before I cast you off the cliffs. I hold it as dear as any fae, but my time had come. However, I took a piece of the cradle with me, a part of a weapon I was meant to protect. I'd earned that right. Can't you feel it? Ever since the Withering War, this stretch of earth has been enchanted. Some prefer to call it cursed, but I see all of this magic as a blessing. I walk the broken hills and ravines, searching for the answers to this question. What lies across the sea? Who is calling me with her fiery breath and knowing whisper? I was once part of the deep slumber, but wished to depart the dreaming to pursue something that is more familiar to mortals like you. Ambition. For seasons, I dwelled in the cradle of summer, as is my role in the telling. But something called to me from beyond the sea. A whisper of power and corruption. I fought our winter court enemies right here on this soil. But it was all in vain. The seasons pass as they always have, and always will. There is no ending the winter. That's laughable. I don't know you, I don't trust you, and I don't like the looks of you. You appeal to me using your mortal sense of guilt, something I truly do not understand. However, my role in the telling does not include Riven or Tarsus. Take my staff. The peace you seek is within. May it bring clarity to the deep slumber. Go on.
Care to join me in my work? You look like you could use a few moments of quiet reflection. Of course, the Cradle, an incredible setting, so rich in its magical history. I was there months ago searching for artifacts, but only came across a few random wand components and a reagent or two. Nothing fantastic, but definitely worth the trip. I am a student of the world, my friend. The world. One cannot learn what he wishes to know from books and recipes. No, he must search the countryside for answers. Look around you. This ruin holds knowledge so deep that no one man will glean it. But that will not keep Erion Raff from trying. Ha! An incredible region. One that begs to be studied. Where else can one truly get a sense of the Withering War and its dramatic effects on our world? It is endlessly fascinating. We have nothing like it in all our long histories. The Fae are singular in their abhorrence of warfare. It's what makes them unique. This warped old rod? I can't imagine why you'd have any interest in it. It's a patchwork piece, cobbled together from bits and bobs. However, I did invest many hours of my life in its construction. My hands still bear the calluses. I would part with it for a price. I couldn't have parted with it for any less, you understand. A man's handiwork is still worth something. Enjoy the peace, and good day. Be well.
Good day. Hello. Avoid the gates.
Good day, traveler. You're staring.
The road has been long for you, my friend. You wear the dust of a job well done. I thank you. The people of the Twili coast thank you. I have seen much savagery on the eastern shores. May it stay there, where blood fills the boots of the fallen. We all do our part. You have done yours. Stay vigilant.
I'm just about ready to give up. Tell me, have you heard any news of Britt Hagney or his final resting place? Lost to the Forsaken Plain, he is. Oh well, it was certainly worth the search. Can't even imagine the kind of new life those rings would have given me. It's better not to think about. Thanks for your help. Here's a little something for your trouble. I'll be seeing you around.